Hello, everybody. Before we get into part 2 of our interview with the amazing Naresh Kumar, just a couple of things. Naresh is sponsored by Bedrock Sandals. We didn't really get into talking about them too much during the main show. So if you'd like to learn more about them, they make minimalistic sandals for endurance sports or everyday wear. Very high quality, so I encourage everyone to go over to bedrocksandals.com and check them out. And this show, as everyone is well aware, is sponsored by Sword Endurance Drink Mix. So head over to drinksword.com to learn all about them. And if you are so inclined to try them out, you can use discount code HeartlandRunner at checkout to save 20%. Now, what you're going to hear is our after show talk. This was never meant to see the podcast, but Naresh graciously granted permission for us to use it. So it's very lightly edited. There's going to be some extra bumps and noises because we were just talking afterwards. I did silence a couple parts where there was some, maybe some private information that didn't need to go out. Well, without any further ado, let's get on to the show. Got a wrap.
All right.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh, yeah, I think that came out great.
Oh.
And you'll have to forgive me. Maybe you noticed I've got a bad case of ADD. I can't stay on one subject for more than 2 seconds.
Hey, I'm like you too. You'd have noticed that, so that's perfect. That's awesome.
You know, I figure for people that have to have really hard structured shows, there's other podcasts for them.
Yeah.
It's so hard for me because, my biggest fear is routine. Anytime someone sends some questions, interviews, they send out a list of questions and they ask you to stick to it. It just takes out the spontaneity of storytelling because you want to speak based on the vibe and how the story goes. So anytime I get on stage as a speaker and they ask you for presentations and slides and ask you to stick to it, that's always the toughest part, to stick to a routine and go. So this is perfect for me.
Oh, yeah. It's I couldn't have things that structured. Our other co-host, Andy, he's a real structured person, so it gives us a little bit of balance, you know?
Right.
He'll be like, okay, guys, you're getting way out there now. If in a perfect world, you would do like an hour get to know you talk and then do the podcast.
Yeah.
You know, because usually it's not till the end where things are really getting comfortable and people are letting the guards down and, you know, doing that type of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And about Freedom Seat also, it's all about the people you meet, Steven. That's how your life becomes. If I hadn't come to US and run all the ultra marathons, I would not have run Wall State and all the other races. I was talking to other people and they were saying with everything going on in America right now, they were just saying you should bring Freedom Seat to America. And this one amazing cyclist, he was giving me this idea where I could start and finish in California by riding a tandem bike that would go and touch all the 48 states in America and finish in California, start and finish in California by touching all the 48 states and raise money for a cause. And people from all these states can jump on the bike and ride the bike with you and go on an expedition. So ever since I got that idea, I've been thinking about that as well. So lots of ideas, especially with tandem bike. It's such an awesome way to connect with people.
Oh yeah.
I've had people confessing their sins sitting in the back seat of my bike. And I would just ask them, who are you? What's your story? Not very many people. Yeah.
Okay. Now I was going to say, I've seen some pictures of you after you've been on the road for a while. You kind of look like a holy man.
Yeah. And as soon as you ask those simple questions, people are craving for interactions and to have meaningful conversations, not the superficial, hey, how are you? And you don't even wait for them to answer. You just ask it for the sake of asking and you go away. But these people, when you ask them, not how are you, but who are you and what's your story? There are women who confess things like, how they were abused and how it took so much courage for them to walk away, sexual abuses, domestic abuses, things that you don't tell a stranger, and how much of adversities that they face. And when they get down from the bike to go on there with their life, and they just wonder, and I asked Phil, this one guy who was telling so much, like, Phil, how many people know the Phil that I got to know in the last half hour? And he was surprised. He's like, you know what? Not very many people. I can count maybe 4 or 5 people. And some of the things he told me, not even his partner knows about it.
Mm.
That's when, like, like that power of human interaction, when you're just sitting with them and listening without any time pressure, without any distraction of social media or cell phone, when you want to know who that person is. And every person that I spoke to has lived a story worth telling. This one guy who invited me home, gave me a place. He didn't have much. Then he said how he knows what it is to not have anything, because he's been homeless since 9 years old, no one to take care of him, lived under a bridge for like 3 years, 4 years, drug addiction, in prison, got finally out and got his life together. And he was having this amazing 3-week-old child in his arms. And he opened up his home to a random stranger he saw was drinking milk outside a dairy store at 9 o'clock in the night. Imagine about putting himself to vulnerability. Not just inviting you home, but inviting you home when he has a 3-week-old child. I could be anyone pretending to be anything.
Mm-hmm.
And he was sharing all these stories. And people who have nothing, who grew up with nothing, they are the ones who appreciate and help a lot, because they know what it is to not have anything, and they feel and connect with the other person. It's not about sympathy, it's not about pity, but they really empathize with that people, putting themselves in their shoes. So, it's just an extremely humbling journey when you go and meet all these awesome people. It makes you the person you are. You want to help and give more.
Oh, I can imagine. Although I can see how it would be easy to open up to a stranger that you knew was going away as well. You don't know me, I don't care if you judge me, because in, 5, 10, 15 miles, you're going to be gone and I'm never going to see you again. So I could see how people would really open up to you.
Yeah. So this guy got down, and I expressed my interest about writing a book. He's like, I know you're going to write a book. If this story ends up in the book, I will find you and I will kill you. I'm like, don't worry, man. I just zip myself, and I said, what happens in Freedom Seat stays in Freedom Seat. Nothing will ever come on out there. I mean, we are still good friends. And I built this amazing habit along the way. I become friends with them on Facebook, Instagram, social media, website, and everything. But I would make sure to give them my journal, ask them to write their mailing address in my journal. And once I leave, I make sure that I will write them a postcard. And that was my way of keeping in touch with people. Postcard made a huge difference. The joy that they get in their face, people receive the postcard and they take a picture of it and they send it through email or Facebook saying, we got your card, really appreciate all those kind words. It wouldn't take long to just go and write on their Facebook post saying, thanks for the meal, thanks for the bed. But taking that time to write that postcard and mailing it to them and they're sending it back to you, you walk into this stranger's life and the next day you leave as a family. You won't believe, I never stay in any hostel or hotel when I go back to New Zealand or even in America. It's been a month and a half since I got here. There are so many people who are close friends, who are like family now, that I always end up staying with. It's extremely humbling, and that human interaction, what brings out of you, brings the best out of you, and you want to give even more. People keep asking, how can you keep giving more and more? Because I've received a lot, it's not mine in the first place, so I have to just keep it passing, because today you, tomorrow me, you never know.
Wow. Good words, sir. Good words.
Hope I'm not keeping you up. It's Central Time. It must be hope it's not past your bedtime or anything.
Not past my bedtime at all. We're always good to go. Yeah, that's, you're going to have to let me know if you do that bike ride. I would definitely, meet you when we were coming through Missouri and ride with you for a while.
Oh, you are stuck with me now. There's no escape.
And I'm out in Ohio.
Oh, perfect. So you can take care of Ohio. He can take care of me for Missouri. Perfect. 2 states done.
Hey, and you're ever in the Ozarks, you got a place to stay. I mean, you'll have to share a bed with the lazy white dog, but
Oh, even better. I love dogs. So perfect. Moonshine and a nice dog. Yeah, let's do it. I'll definitely come to Tennessee. Need to pay a visit to my American papa. So I'll definitely try and stop my way on my way to Missouri.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'd be great. I think I'm about 6 hours from where Steve Durbin is.
Oh, cool.
Here. So yeah, we're not too far away at all. I'm hoping that we can corner him at Ruts and get him to record another episode with us. We had him on once, but
nice. That's awesome.
I was thinking
he's such an awesome guy.
Oh, he was inspirational as well, but just a funny guy, and just one of the classic quotes coming out of his mouth every other minute or two. And you're like, I gotta remember that one,
Yeah, you just hang out with Steve and Gary. Spend like maybe an hour with them. You can write a book just with the quotes that come out of their mouth. You can just write a book out of it. Such an inspirational guy.
Well, it was funny, because after I interviewed Steve Durbin, and he's like, "Hey, would you want to have Laz on?" And I mean, that's like a holy grail for a running podcaster, because I don't think he's done one. I might be wrong, but I don't think he's done a podcast. And I think Steve was like our 5th show or something. So we just started, so we were really bad, And I was like, oh, I would be honored to have Laz on. And he goes, okay, I'll set it up. And I get an email. I figured he'd forget or whatever, And I don't know, it was like a week later, and he goes, well, hey, Laz said he'll do it, but he had to go to France or something. And he goes, and it might take a little time after that. He's kind of like trying to herd a cat sometimes. But he's like, you've got to have this really cool guy, Naresh, come on. I'm like, Naresh? I don't know. Who's Naresh? But I'm so glad he made that introduction.
He's such a nice guy, always wishes the best for every single person out there. And such a sweet person. He and Terry, I don't know if you know, but he and Terry, that happened because of me. I don't know if he told you that.
Oh, no.
No.
I was talking to Gary Cantrell, and he shows all his maps. When I was in Nashville, I would drive all the way, cook him hot curry, drink moonshine, and tell lies, and get more adventure stories from him. So he kept talking about this 11W and how it is called Bloody 11W because of all the accidents that happened. And it's a road called 11 West from Knoxville, Tennessee, all the way to Bristol, Virginia on the 11 West. Then I was telling him, like, why don't we have a fat-ass style ultramarathon? People can just show up and do it, and it's going to be a great training run to run unsupported Wall State. If anyone wants to do Wall State, it's 111 miles. You can get a taste of what it is to live on the road running the Bloody 11W. So the second year that I was the race director for that race, Steve and Gary wanted to do that. So they were teamed up and they were running the whole thing. And Terry volunteered to help out Gary and Steve to help them along the way. So that's how Steve and Terry met during that race.
Wow.
And 2 years, 3 years later, here they are, married and living happily ever after.
You're the love doctor, aren't you?
I'm like, damn it, I lost another brother to the dark side. I should not have introduced them to that, right?
Hey, man,
is definitely not the dark side.
I'm 45 and single, so my chances of getting remarried are like nil now. So you got a companion, you got a brother,
I like a challenge, Challenge can be a real challenge, man. All I need to be is there. Take me to a pub and I'm like, have you met Steve? He's sitting right there. A year from now, you're like, damn you, Naresh, I should never had you on the podcast. I'm stuck with a crazy woman in my home now.
Oh, I have no issues attracting crazy women. That's my problem. My problem is attracting a normal one.
Yeah. It's a curse, man. For ultra runners and adventurers like us, it's a curse. All we attract is the crazy.
And the worst thing, I was dating a woman a couple years ago, and she's an ultra runner too. It's impossible to date another ultra runner. You can't do it.
So true. No.
Yeah, you can't do it because it's like, you want to do something this weekend? No, I got to get up early to run 30 miles because I've got this race coming up. And then when she's free, I'm like, no, I got to get some sleep.
Yeah. And in my case, it was the opposite. It's ending up doing the same thing together all the time. And then you're like, why can't you go run some other race? Why do you have to run all the race that I'm running? And if you're running, I mean, we men, sometimes we get his ego. Like, no, she can't beat me. I have to outrun her. And yeah, one girl that I dated who was a runner. That's your one lone time after work that you just want to go on a training run by yourself, clear your head, or go and run this race. But we end up spending way too much time together that we thought, okay, it's better just go our own way. So there's this both extremes. You never see the other person, or you end up spending all the time together because of the common hobby.
Yep, there is such thing as too much time together.
Yeah.
Sorry, Crystal, I don't know what your situation is. You hear just two single people just sharing their happy stories here.
No, I'm married. That's how I got in the country.
Ah, cool.
Oh, you got yourself an anchor man, huh?
So, yes, and I had an anchor baby, so I'm all good.
Wow. Gary, Steve, everyone, when my visa was about to expire and I made my move to New Zealand, they're like, dude, it won't be, it's not tough. All you need to do is find that one girl. It's going to be okay. You'll get a visa right away. I'm like, I don't want to sign my life away just because of a visa, man. I'm okay being single.
Yeah. Naresh is man-hoeing down in New Zealand.
People are like, wow, you just wanted to run away so far that you went all the way to the southern hemisphere. That's like almost 24 hours away. When I left New Zealand, it was a Saturday afternoon. And when I landed in the U.S. after a 14-hour flight, it was Saturday, 9 in the morning. It was like a full circle.
Oh.
I almost like time traveled.
Oh boy, that's hard.
You guys should come to New Zealand. It's an amazing country.
Yeah, I've never been there. Would love to see it. I know when I go to Europe, I always like it because it's like a 6-hour flight. So you know, I can take off, go to sleep, and arrive at the same time.
Yeah.
It's a 6-hour flight and about a 6-hour time difference, so it just works out perfect.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially with the running scene, like the totally freedom running. You can just pack your bag. There is no bullshit about permits and stuff because only certain number of people can go at a certain time. It's all about freedom camping as long as you are 100 meters away from the trail and from any kind of water source. The place is yours. And people are so respectful. Yeah, it's called freedom camping. So you can just go anywhere. There's no applying for a permit. Like doing a JMT at this time, you are applying for a permit and waiting in line. But over there, it's a free country. You can just go explore, do whatever you want. The world is just out there. And it's so rugged. The country is so wild and rugged. The terrain, people who have done Pacific Crest Trail, when they come to do Te Araroa, it just humbles them. And when you see the trails in New Zealand, the trails in America are compared to the interstate of trails when it comes to New Zealand trails. There's no trails. There'll be just poles, like in the alpine terrain, there'll be like big poles sticking out of the ground with an orange pipe. Once you get to that pole, you don't know where the next one is. You just scout around and you will barely see the next pole on the next peak on the other mountain. How you get there is totally up to your business. You just figure out a way to get up there. Once you get there, then you go to the next place. So it gives you that total freedom and that explorer attitude instead of just like a GPS sticking to a trail. All right, take this trail. Here's the sign. This is the campsite. You go here, eat here, do this, do that. Over there, it's like, how am I going to get there? What can I do there? How am I going to find the campsite? It gives you a lot of opportunity to experiment, and it's such a joyful place. I mean, the scenes in Lord of the Rings does no justice when you see it right in front of your eyes. It's just amazing country. But more amazing are the people, Steven. People, especially the Maori culture, the indigenous people, the entire whole world that I've traveled, at least to the extent that I've traveled, I would never compare anything to the level of New Zealand hospitality. When they look at you, if you're in trouble, even if you're not in trouble, they want to come and ask you, is there anything I can do for you? And they mean it. When you're running on the road, especially the road sections, when I was running Te Araroa, it's the toughest sections always, not in terms of how tough it is, but at least 10, 15 cars will pull over to ask you if you're doing okay, why you're running on the side of the road. Is there anything we can do to help? Get in the car.
Yeah.
There are people, as soon as I tell them what I'm doing, they would open up their wallet, give you $20, $40, or they say, if you just keep continuing, 10 more kilometers, my house is right there. It's already sunset. We'll have meals ready for you. Stay with us tonight, and then you go. And that's the language, right? Stay with us tonight. It's not extending an invitation saying, would you like to stay? They take the authority because they want to extend that hospitality. They say like, stay with us, eat a good meal, have a good night rest. You can continue, get all the energy you want, and then you can continue tomorrow. But if the weather is bad, no worries. You can stay as long as you want, and then you can go. And then you're like, you don't even know who I am. What if I'm like a kidney thief? What if I'm going to like steal some stuff from your home and run away? And some of these people are well-to-do family, you know, but they're not looking over their shoulder, seeing if you are stealing something. They have their MacBooks, tablets lying around, some cash lying around. And some of these people have children in their homes, you know, like young girls in their houses. But no one is like, you know, looking over their shoulder thinking, what if he's a molester? What is he going to do to our child? Nothing of that sort. And you don't have that fear that you have in America. When you go to a park, I really like kids. So you like get playful with them, play with them, make some funny faces. And you can see some people like getting scared, like, oh, who is this weird guy? What is he doing by himself? And that raises your guard. Like, what if they think that I'm a crazy guy? Though I'm not, what if they think that I am? Over there, you can be free. You are who you are, and people look at it. And that's how you end up with families. You know, when I was running New Zealand, this single lady invited me home when she saw me running on the beach, takes me home, cooks an amazing meal. She had 2 kids, and the youngest child and we connected right away. Nico, 4-year-old at that time. Towards the end, when it was his bedtime, he's coming and telling his mom something, and the mom was kind of angry. She's like, leave him alone, Nico. He just ran 40 miles today. Let him get a good night's sleep. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. He's like, Naresh, I know you were running with him in the beach and you were playing with him. I think he really likes you. He wants you to read a storybook and tuck him in the bed tonight. Usually it's every day my job, but he wants you to do it. I'm like, Nico, I would do it for you. And I was keeping a distance. I tucked him in the bed. I was sitting on a chair while he was in the bed. Then he's like, Naresh, come and sit here. I was sitting in his bed. He grabs the blanket, tucks me in with him, along with him, and he puts my arm around him. I'll send you the picture with the story that goes with it. I had my arm around him. His head was right on my chest and nicely snuggled up. I was reading this book. The mom came in to grab some pillows. She was making my bed in the living room. She took some picture. That's how I got that picture. And within 10 minutes, I'm like, he was snoring. He just fell asleep on my chest. A child that I met 4 hours before. And I slowly got up, tucked him in his bed. I was about to leave, closing the door. He woke up and he's like, Naresh, please don't close the door completely. I get scared. Leave it open a little bit. But thank you so much for reading the book and playing with me. I love you. When he said, I love you, I was in tears. I walked out and mom noticed me. I'm like, what happened? Did he say something? Yeah, he said, I love you. How can I not tear up? And then she was like, yeah, he just connected. It's so amazing. I've never seen him connect with someone so close, not even to his brother. And when I was doing Freedom Seat, I didn't get a chance to ride with him. We missed each other by like 3 hours. He was somewhere else. But he sent a sweet postcard saying, I missed a ride with you and kindness. You have to come back and take a ride. I really miss you. That means a lot, especially a kid that you met for 4 or 5 hours and the deep relationship that you built. Even 3 years later, he still remembers you. So that's the kind of story that I remember, not the scenery. Scenery is spectacular, but people and the stories that you get along the way when you run or bike one place to another, human powered, makes your life rich. Like 10 years from now, if anyone asks, what is the best story about Aotearoa? I always tell the story. And every place you go to, it's always a human story.
Wow. Now you're making me want to ride a bike a really long ways.
I know. I think I need to call in sick to work tomorrow.
Be banging on people's doors. Can I tuck your kid in?
Yeah, that'll go over real well where you are.
Yeah. Oh, you people are working. Sorry, I'm keeping you up here.
We don't. This
Oh,
is
gosh.
this is our hobby. What? we got normal jobs during the day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I went back to my old workplace. It's been 3 years since I quit my job. I was a senior architect for this big software company in Silicon Valley. And it's just the whole point of telling, do what makes you happy, right? I go back and meet my team. 80% of them still exactly where they are. 3 years before where I saw them, their desk, everything, maybe a couple of $1,000 is increased in their bank account, exactly doing the same thing. And you can see the regret in their eyes, like, dude, I want to do what you're doing. Tell us what to do. I'm like, you know what? It's simple. You got to leave somewhere to go somewhere. It's not about what you want to get out of this place, but it's all about how bad you want it. How bad you want it. I mean, if that's the life that you want, man, I didn't have anything. I had $200 in my pocket when I left everything. And look at me. Life is just working out. Of course, there's a period of uncertainty. There's times when you go hungry and starving, scraping the last bit of peanut butter, sleeping in the mountain in cold weather. But that's okay. It will come to an end. Life will go on. It's better to live like that than to live a life full of regret. And they were just looking at you thinking, wow, a CEO looking at you and telling you are living your life. I need to do what you're doing was extremely, again, humbling journey. I was good at what I was doing. A lot of people these days, you know, they are like, quit the job, leave the 9-to-5 rat race. I'm like, stop giving bad advice to people. No one can enjoy anything that doesn't come out of hard work and toil. Gary always says that. A man can only enjoy what gets out of hard work and toil. This millennial generation, I'm a millennial too, but you know, you have to get something out of hard work. People think they can just start a travel blog, get a couple of thousand followers on Instagram, and immediately they think they become like travelers. They can travel all over the world for free. They get these bad advices from people who make it happen. But out of the hundreds and thousands of people out there, only a few make it happen. I just tell people, man, work hard. You know, that's the only way you can do what you're doing. That's the way I do it. I come here, work for Bedrock Sandals, build websites, blogs, work my butt off so that I can live a life like this out there.
Oh, definitely. I've got one more year till my youngest is 18, and then I might become a full hippie.
Wow, that's awesome. We should go on an epic adventure, Steve.
We should, man. Where you want to go?
Yeah, I'm like, just name the country or tell me how many days you want to do. I have places, and my bucket list is so big, so many things to do. We'll just strike off one after the other, baby.
Dang right, man. Well, I don't know. You know what? I've always wanted to run in Mongolia too.
Mongolia has been high on my list. Never been.
Never been. I don't know why. I'm just like that. I've never known anyone. I've never known anyone that's been to Mongolia.
Yeah.
So all right, Naresh. We're running Mongolia.
Let's do it.
Add
it to the bucket list.
I got.
We'll find a trail and we'll just go and do it.
I got 1 year exactly. Well, just shy of 1 year till the oldest is 18, and after that, man, we can do it.
Perfect. Just one kid, Steve?
I have two. I have two sons. The oldest just turned 19, so when they're 18, they can do their thing.
Yeah, let's get rid of them and we'll go away out there, live life out there.
Dang right, man. I'm serious. We're gonna do this. I mean,
he'll find you a nice Mongolian wife.
I might enjoy a nice Mongolian wife.
Right.
Yeah, she'd probably kick my ass, but see if she's got some Attila blood in her or something. But
yeah, we'll be doing a podcast about Steven. So when he settles down in Mongolia, it's like, dude, how's it going? Like getting my butt kicked every day by my Mongolian wife.
But I'm gonna be like, check out my awesome yurt. I'm gonna have a couple of big screens on the side of the yurt. Hey, right. Herding some goats.
I've had a conversation with someone. I'm tearing up here, sitting on the side of the road, like chatting away and laughing so hard. Thank you. It feels like I'm just talking to someone as if I've known you guys forever.
Well,
Thank you for making it so awesome.
Well, I do feel like I've known you a long time. I was telling Crystal's like, we kind of been emailing for like 6 months. I haven't spoken to him directly, but it's...
Yeah.
I feel like I can make fun of the guy. And that's when you know
Isn't that what you've been doing the last 1 hour?
That's when you know it's a real friendship, is when you can pick on each other.
That's right.
Absolutely.
When we're super nice, that's when you have to be concerned.
Yes. Well,
I always tell people, long distance relationship is hard, but long distance friendships is the amazing friendships. Anything that's forged by the long distance miles in the mountains and everything is just formed once and stays forever, be it US or anywhere. Ultra running family is my closest family. They are more close to me than my real family.
oh
Like
yeah.
Steve Durbin, Lazarus Lake, a lot of people in the South, in California, and now you guys. It just feels like so comfortable. You're just so comfortable. You can make yourself vulnerable with this group, knowing that they're not going to judge you, but they're going to help you to become a better person. That's the best part about this whole sport, people.
Yeah, and I mean, most ultra runners are screwed up in some way, anyways. They
Yeah,
they
so
had
true.
a hard life or addictions or something
Yeah.
happened in their life.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a vulnerability. They don't hide it. They don't just
Mhm.
put on a crazy brave face like, oh, I've done this, I've done that. They're really okay and make themselves vulnerable to show how weak they are. And it's okay to be weak.
Mhm.
That's the beautiful part of it.
Yes, exactly. There's strength and weakness.
hmm
Exactly.
When even Gary, I don't know, Gary gave me a nickname after the Wall State. He calls me the Monday Man. I should send you this blog that I wrote after finishing that race. So I was a newbie into running this race. I mean, I had no business to start Wall State when I was just a year into ultra running by in general. Then in a forum, I mean, he saw me through Strolling Gym and other races. Then I sent an email saying, Gary, I signed up. What do you think I should do? And he knew me, kind of went to his place, we cooked curry and spent some time. And he said on a forum when I was like a newbie asking for advice, you expect them to give solid advice, like do this, do that. The first thing he says, as you know, the race starts every year on a Thursday. And he said, the race starts on a Thursday and I applied for a 10-day vacation. The first thing he says, Naresh, don't even bother applying for a 10-day vacation. You're going to go back to Nashville with tail between your legs by Monday. So he just gave me 5 days. He said, I won't survive more than 5 days on the road. In the forum, I was like, what a bastard. I'm here asking for advice and you are humiliating me by saying you are not fit to do this race. You'll be back home in Nashville by Monday. And I was like, even if I have to sleep in the cemetery and kill my time somewhere on the road, I'm not going to come back to Nashville. Even if I don't finish, I will drop out maybe on Tuesday or Wednesday, Thursday, but not on a Monday. That is for sure. And along the way, he and Sandra were driving the car, making sure everyone is good. And he was kind of, spying on me to see how soon I'm going to drop dead, and you just make fun of me along the way. And at the end of it, all said and done, when someone said, dude, you'll be the fifth overall, and there's one unsupported runner in front of you, but if you keep going, you can catch her. And she ended up dropping out of the unsupported category. She couldn't handle it, so she needed some water and food, so she took some support from the other person. So that put me first in the unsupported category. So of the 19 runners that year, 3 finished in front of me, and I was the first unsupported runner. And when I finished it, I just couldn't believe it when I said, dude, you won the race. And I'm like, how did that happen? I was just running out there. And Gary was sitting there laughing his butt off, looking at me crying like a baby at the finish line. Then someone made a cool Tennessee map of the route of Wall State. I just took the map straight to him and shoved it in his face, yelling on top of my voice, who's going home on Monday, huh? Who is going home? Tell me. Look into my eyes. Talk to me, bastard. Who's going home? Then he's like, Naresh, I don't have anything to say. I'm like, sign the bloody map. Sign it right now. And he signed the map saying, Naresh, my Monday man, you are my hero. Signed Lazarus Lake. And for Gary to say you are my hero and Monday man, that's of the 80 some ultra marathons that I've run and so many buckles and awards that I've gotten, that is my prized finisher award.
Oh, I can
For Gary
imagine.
awesome.
To this day, I keep it everywhere, laminated it, and one day, if and when I have a home, it will be in the center of my home. That will say, one day, Lazarus Lake signed and called me that I'm his hero, and he called me Monday Man. So my Wall State jacket was embroidered with the words Monday Man. But eventually he said what he said because he's an excellent coach, Stephen. If you talk to him, within a few minutes, he will know exactly who you are and what is the thing that ticks you. And I'm like, dude, why would you say something like that? A week later when I was hanging out with him, I have my stuff in his house. I have my own bedroom. He's like my adopted American papa there. So when I asked him why he did, he's like, Naresh, you're the kind of person who don't need to be told what you need to be told. In fact, you need a kick in your butt. So all you needed was a little bit of discouragement. Someone had to provoke you saying you can't do it. And then you came up there with all your anger and outrage saying, yeah, you tell me that I can't do it. Let me show you what I can. And he was right because growing up in the slums, a lot of people looked at me and said, I don't know if you guys knew, but none of my family went to school. I'm the first graduate in the entire generation who even stepped on a college door, walked out with a graduation degree. First one to ever step in a plane and first one to ever leave the country and fly over. So there were a lot of firsts. And a lot of people were just making fun of my dad and mom and even me saying, dude, you are shooting for stars. You can't do it. This is impossible. What are you doing? And then I was like, I'm going to show you guys what I can do. And you just go with all that anger. So Gary immediately found out about me within a week. And I'm glad he did what he did. Otherwise, I don't think I would have pushed my limit to run Wall State that hard. That eventually ended up getting me first place in the unsupported category. So he's such an awesome guy.
Wow. That's amazing. I think that's why he made that comment about no woman will ever finish Barkley. I think he's just looking to piss someone off enough to, I'll show you.
Yeah, so many women out there trying to get out there and do it. I'm sure one of these days it's definitely going to happen.
Crystal?
Don't look at me.
Come on, Crystal. We believe in you.
She's the seasoned runner. She's 17 years.
I saw her Instagram.
Into stuff too.
I saw your Instagram. Pretty impressive profile out there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. No, I'm obsessed with your Instagram now. I just discovered it. I think just today, and just the stuff out there is just stunning.
Oh, thank you so much. I mean, you should definitely read some of the stories. Sometimes it's just stories, like a blog post that I do, because when you're on the road, it's kind of hard to keep a going blog, WordPress and everything. So Instagram is pretty easy.
Yeah.
And that's another thing with the millennials, right? So there are so many people out there with hundreds and thousands of followers, and they come and judge you immediately when they look at your profile. And they're like, dude, just 5,000 followers? Come on. We thought you must be having at least even sponsorships from organizations. The first question they ask is your tag, and if they go and look there, if you don't have anything over 50,000, they don't even talk to you. That's how they judge you sometimes. I'm like, just give me 10 minutes. Let me tell you my real story and what I'm doing. Then you make the decision. But no one ever gives you the chance. And people who give you the chance become lifelong friends and affiliate partners after that.
And, you need to, even from a marketing standpoint, you need to look at the engagement rate. I've seen a lot of profiles that have 50,000 followers and there's no engagement. So it's like, okay, obviously you bought a bunch of followers and
exactly, yeah.
But the industry doesn't recognize that. They don't see that engagement. They're quick to just see the count. I've had people who just travel the world pretty much as a gift given to them. All they have to do is travel to these fancy hotels and post stories about it. They are giving these people just because of the followers. It's like free advertising just because they are giving a free room. But those people, when they come online or Instagram, they're like, oh, this is where you should be staying. This is the coolest place I've ever stayed. You got a free stay, but don't encourage people because that's like $600 a night to stay in that hotel room. Normal people can't do. You're getting free stuff, but you just lose your authenticity. That's why, besides Bedrock Sandals or organizations that I really truly believe in, there's all my organizations that support me, Steven. They help me with Freedom Seat. So many of them gave me free phones, free websites, building platforms, and a lot of donations. Not a single company asked me for promotion in any way. They didn't say post Instagram, post stories about us, nothing. Even the company that gave the Tandem bike away for free, no strings attached. They said, we don't care about blog posts, nothing. You are doing shit. We want to help you so that you can keep doing this awesome shit.
Yep.
Just go and do it. If you need help, just come to us.
Yeah, we even had that with the podcast. I mean, I figured when we tried to get companies to come on and talk about their stuff, the first thing they would ask is, how many downloads do you get and all that. And I've only had one person ask that, and they had no right to ask it because they were another podcast. I mean, this isn't going in the show, but it was, I don't know if you listened to that episode, Crystal. That was before you joined.
I actually don't listen to that podcast.
Yeah, well, I thought it'd be cool to have them on, And they're like, well, what's your following and all this? And I'm thinking probably more than yours, But yeah,
exactly.
we've had big brands on. They're like, yeah, sure, we'll come on, That's fine.
Yeah. I kind of lose it immediately when they ask, my camera got stolen in Europe. So I'm pretty much taking pictures with the phone that I have. So I approached this organization asking, let's collaborate. I have a lot of travel coming up. If you can help me, even give me a pro deal. And the first question is all right, so let us know your blog count, Instagram count. I can fake it. I can pay $100 someone to get 50,000 followers overnight. I have a farm, a Facebook farm, an Instagram farm in India and Brazil. They can just dude, give us your tag. We will do it. I'm like, I don't want it because it loses that authenticity. At the end of the day, I don't need them. I'll pay that extra $100 to buy that gear so that I don't need to have any kind of obligation. Otherwise, they give you this one jacket and they ask your life back. Oh, why don't you write some blogs? When are you going to send us some pictures? I'm like, no, you don't get anything. Maybe a couple of mentions here and there. And that's when you're like, all right, I'm not even going to do it. But it's a bad world out there, but you just can't let them take that away. I would rather keep doing what I'm doing. Even for Freedom Seat, that's why I'm like, no plans. If I'll be at home and the guy would be so impressed, they would call all the local schools and they would just dude, can you just stay for 2 days here? There's at least 6 schools that they would love to hear the stories. And the kids' school just started. They want something to fight for. I'm like, all I have is time. Let's just do this. So stay there for 2 days, talk to at least 1,000 students in that 2 days.
Wow.
And the next, you just hit the road with no plans. All I know is I need to go all the way south to the tip of the country. And 20,000 became 50,000 feet. I don't know if you read that story. I made a cool map and I drew the exact route that I did, and I collected signatures from all the people who rode the bike and all my biggest supporters.
Oh, no.
I was speaking at an event in New Zealand, and I got down from the stage and I kind of unrolled the map on the stage saying, doesn't matter how silly and stupid of an idea it sounded in the beginning, riding a tandem bike by picking random people along the way. People laughed at this idea in the beginning. I had 140 people riding the bike. Youngest was 3, oldest was 72. And we ended up raising more than 100% of what we set out for. And I unrolled the map to show all these signatures. As soon as I got back on my to the seat, the event organizer walked to me and said, someone offered to pay $2,000 for that map. Do you want to sell it? We will give $2,000 in charity for that map. I'm like, I just paid $5.99 for this map. Have it. I don't need this map. Because in my head, $2,000, that's 15 kids who were rescued from the sex trafficking can get a high school scholarship for 1 year. They can go to school for 1 year for $2,000. And I'm like, all right. 10 minutes later, he comes back again and said, another volunteer stepped in. They doubled the price. So give that $4,000 away. We'll take the map. You get $4,000 in charity for the Freedom Seat. And we're going to frame it and hang it in our church, in a beautiful church. It's going to sit there. A lot of people will see the map and we'll tell the story about Freedom Seat and about what you accomplished through all these people. So it was extremely humbling. And, I'm a very spiritual person. So when I got up that morning, it was just a $5 map, and what God can do even with a $5 map. A $5 map became $4,000, and just not about the money, but about 30 kids get a full scholarship to get a high school graduation in a country like Nepal. And these are kids not with families, but they have been rescued from the sex industry. So it's just extremely humbling. The more and more I was out there doing things with a lot of other people collectively, it's all about the shared experiences. It's like a beautiful celebration. Freedom Seat was just one amazing journey.
Wow. I can't wait for the book to come out.
Oh, yeah.
And Naresh, I don't read much, so I mean, if I'm willing to read it.
Your life doesn't have pictures.
Yeah, I like the coloring kind of books. All right, brother, man.
It lives up to the expectation. But thank you so much, Steve. Thanks so much, Christo. Please stay in touch, guys. This is not the end of the conversation.
I definitely, dude, I am serious about that Mongolia run. I mean, I might not be able to go run for 6 months in Mongolia, but maybe we'll make a 30-day trip or something.
You know what? I promise that I'm a man of my word. So you have my promise right now. Mongolia it is next year. Let's do it.
All righty.
Awesome.
All right, Mr. Naresh.
All right, Crystal. You and I will plan another adventure some other time. Once your babies become big.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Cheers, guys. Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening.
Bye. You too. All right. That was our after show conversation with Naresh. I hope you enjoyed it as much as Crystal and I enjoyed speaking with Naresh. I really feel like we have made a true lifelong friend, and that makes this little podcast endeavor all worth it. If you would like to find out how you can help end human sex trafficking, I found a great website. That website is humantraffickinghotline.org. They also have a toll-free number if you're an old school person that prefers the phone, and that number is 888-373-7888. If we all pull together, maybe we can help make the world a little better place. Anyways, I hope you'll stay tuned to the show. We have some more amazing guests coming up in the near future. And, of course, you'll always hear about the adventures of Crystal, Andy, and I as we go out and do our crazy stuff. Anyways, guys, thank you for sticking us in your ears, and we'll talk to you again soon.